Hello guys, welcome to another session. In this session, we are going to learn about higher order function in Python. So in this aspect, we will learn about what actually higher order function is, and then we will look into some of the important higher order function of Python like filter, map, and reduce. These functions are one of the mostly used higher order function in Python. So let's jump into the discussion. What actually higher order function is? And higher order function is nothing but a function which accepts another function as a parameter. To understand that, let's jump into the spider editor and we will write some examples so that you can better understand it. So basically, suppose that if we are going to have a function or a program which is going to find out the even number from range 0 to 10. So to write that, let's write the program. Suppose that if we have a number from range 0 to 10 and we want to identify the even number. So how to do that? So that's what we are writing over here. We are creating a list over here which will hold the even number. So to do that, we are going to iterate and we will iterate the numbers which we have generated, and then we can apply the formula to find out the even number over here. So this will return us a even number, and which we will append it into a list which we have created at top. So this will give us the even number. So we can check it now. So if we will run it and if we will print the even number, then it will return the even number list. So here, to find out the even number, we need to write so many line of code. We can achieve all this thing in just one single line of code. So for that, first we will define a function, and then we will use Python's higher order function called filter, where we can pass that function and then we will find the even number. So let's look into that. First we will define the even number function. To do that, so let's write a code for that. So we will define a function again that is going to find the even number, and here we will pass a value and that will return the even number. Whether the number is even or not, it will check it and we will return that. Now we will use the higher order function of Python. So here we are using a filter function, and here we are passing as another function as parameter. So this behavior which is called higher order function, here we are passing this function is even within another function as a parameter, and then we are telling that we are going to send the numbers which we have generated over here, so that this number will be passed in this function, and then it will check that each number is even or not. We can give some different name, even higher order HOF, and now we will run it and we will also print the returned value so that it would be easy for us. Now we will run it. So now we will, so here we have to do one thing. We have to write list function so that whatever the value which will be returned, so it will stored over here. So now here we have used this higher order function, inbuilt higher order function of Python, where we are passing the function another function which we have created, and then we are passing the list as well. So on each values of this particular number from the range from 0 to 10, it will go there, every value will go there, and it will check that whether the number is even or not. If it is even, then it will store it into the list. So let's look into the example. If we run it and then we will print it, so see here it has returned the even number. So you just remember that what is higher order function, and higher order function is a function which takes another function as a parameter. This is the same way in Python. These three majorly used higher order function is which we have seen. One, that is filter function. Now we will look into other higher order function called map. That is also very important. So let's look into that and understand with an example. So map is a function which applies to every element within the list. So let's understand with an example. Suppose that if you have a number from range 0 to 10 and you want to square this number, and that is falling into a list. So how to do that now? with the help of map function we will do that. So let's write it. So here we are going to use square, and here we will write list, and we will use map function, and this time we are going to use an anonymous function. You remember that in the last session I told you about the lambda function. So we will use lambda function, which is an anonymous function. We will create the function on a fly, and we will square the number, whatever the number which we are going to pass. So here we are going to pass the number. So here what we are doing, we are grabbing a function over here that is a anonymous function, and where we are squaring it, whatever the number which we will get into this list. So now we will run it and we will print it. So it will take the each value of from this range and it will square it. So run it now, and if you will print it, then it will give you that list. So see here 0 to 9 it ran and it has squared all those numbers. So here map is another higher order function which is taking another function as a parameter. This time we are taking anonymous function, and then we are taking the numbers range and squaring those number. So this is one of the example of map. So just remember it. Why I am telling all this thing is because it is really important to understand the higher order function, because Python is having so much of higher order function. But filter, map and reduce function is mostly used for higher order function within Python. Now we will discuss about reduce function. We have seen filter now, and now we have also seen map. Now we will look into another higher order function called reduce. So reduce is a function that consumes a list but return a single value. So what it means, let's understand with an example. So to use reduce, we are going to import reduce. So for that we will use func tool. So this is one of the module which you need to import reduce. So we will run it. Now it is being loaded. Now we will use the reduce function over here. So for that again we are going to generate some number and we will do the multiplication of those numbers. So from range 1 to 10, this time we are going to generate number from 1 to 10, and then we will use reduce function, and here then we will create a lambda function, an anonymous function, which will take two parameters and we will multiply it. Now we will pass the list of numbers which we have generated over here. So we will call it numbers, and then reduced value something, and we will print that reduced value. So here we will print that. Now once you will run it, so it will return a single number. See here. So by definition it is what we have understand, that reduce is another higher order function which take the list and return a single value. See here, it has taken a list of numbers but it has returned the reduced value, a single value. So these are the some of the important higher order function which I wanted to discuss with you. I hope you enjoyed this session. So see you in the next session. Bye bye.